It's Kornel from the Build Wealth Canada podcast. I wanted to introduce you to Ed. I've been working with Ed, getting his advice for many years now, whenever I have some financial planning or tax related questions. And there's a lot of people that are interested in working potentially with him as well. And so we thought we would do a quick little interview to get you more familiar with his practice and what he does. So, Ed, to kick things off, how does getting a financial plan actually help us?
Yeah, I think most Canadians just generally have an unsure feeling about their finances, and they don't know what their retirement goal is. They don't know how much they need to save, and the truth is, they're probably quite a ways behind because they haven't really figured it out. And what I find is people tend to have like a general guilty feeling about not saving more. Most people kind of feel they should be saving more, but they don't really know how much. And if you don't have a plan, then you always feel like you should be saving more. So a plan tells you that's the retirement that I want and when. So this is the optimal way to be able to get there. And then all the rest of it, you can freely spend without any guilt. And the truth is, you probably need more than you think. Okay. Like, for example, based on this, 4% rule, you need, if you want to retire on, let's say, 40,000 a year from your investments plus a bit from the government, and in 20 or 30 years, by then the cost of living doubles, you actually are going to need about 2 million of investments in 20 or 30 years. And so to be able to get there, it's not going to happen on its own. You need to be able to have a plan, but it's usually not as hard as you may think once you start working on something like that. So bottom line is, you won't have the future you want without a retirement plan. It's not going to happen on its own. So and we have software that actually we call it interactive. It lets you go back and forth and try many different options and figure out exactly what you want. So, but yes, I think for most people, there's kind of like we call it a retirement plan struggle, because you're trying to balance your lifestyle today with your lifestyle after you retire. So how do you manage to do both, and what is that balance? So but your financial plan becomes the GPS for your life. Like, it tells you exactly how to be able to get there, and then you eventually will get to that financial independence, and it gives you that confidence that you're going to be there in the future. So we find when we create a plan for people, most people actually change quite a bit in their finances once they have a plan. It's not that you make a plan and then you just keep going as you're doing. Once you see the plan, often you do things quite differently. So, and you'd be quite amazed at how you can build wealth once you optimize everything. So and I can tell you, like a lot of people are not sure whether a financial plan is going to be worthwhile, because we charge a time for it. But I've never had anybody question the benefit of it after receiving the financial plan. And so if anybody actually wants a sample financial plan, we can also send them a sample too, just to give them an idea of how in depth it is.
Wonderful. Now, there's lots of financial planners, financial advisors out there. Why would someone work with you and your team specifically?
Well, okay, so we are fee-for-service financial planners. Okay, so and we have like a ton of experience. So we have insights based on experience, which can really help you. So we've actually written over 1,000 financial plans for like over 1,000 families. So we've been through it so many times, we know what we're doing. So myself, I'm a certified financial planner and a CPA, tax accountant, and we have a team of us that are all CFPs. So we really know what we're doing. So and we have a full service, like once we write the plan, we have a full service to help you implement it and work with you over the years. And we become like, it's a one decision to work with us, and we help you in all areas of your finances. We become your money guru. So our insights are actually quite different than what you get from most advisors. And I have a passion for personal finance. I've took a speed reading course. I've just read hundreds of books, and I'm constantly reading different financial books. I have 5 bookshelves full of financial books. And then I like to write about these things, and they're on my blog and my YouTube channel. So my blog is actually the #1 financial blog in Canada for a full service financial planner. So, and it's there. What I'm trying to do is just educate Canadians. From my experience, I've learned so many things that actually work, that are different from what most people do. So it's unconventional wisdom is what we call it, because most of the conventional wisdom really isn't true, or just isn't optimal. So we try to help you do things that work in real life.
And what methods and strategies do you provide that other advisors and robo-advisors don't?
So, all right. So we have a bunch of, really effective strategies that we use, and they're like tools that we can use to whatever works. And, you have to struggle this balance between lifestyle today and lifestyle later on. Often with these tools, we can kind of make it so your lifestyle today can basically continue, and yet you can still you can maintain this lifestyle and have the retirement that you want. And we can make that difference with the effective strategies. So one is, because we're tax experts, we're always looking at different tax brackets and how to optimize all that. Should use RSP or TFSA or spousal RSP. We know those things. And then we have a few. So there's a few tax strategies that we use, like RSP top-ups and catch-up loans. And RSP top-up is a way that you can get like 30 or 40% more RSP contribution every year without changing your cash flow. And then we also have, for self-employed, we've got effective use of how to use the corporations to say that there's a lot you can do with if you're self-employed with a corporation. For retired people, we have this GIS strategy where we even have clients with $2 or $3 million that are able to get this guaranteed income supplement. It's a program for seniors that are very low income, but it's low taxable income. They can still have high cash income. So we know how to be able to figure all those things out. We're also experts in a few leverage strategies. Okay, so borrowing to invest can be an excellent way to get to your retirement goal without changing your lifestyle now. So one of the main ones is the Smith maneuver, and there's actually 7 different Smith maneuver strategies. We are Canada's expert on it. I was actually mentioned in Fraser Smith's book when he wrote it. So, and then we've developed a few of our own, and our own is called the Rempel Maximum. It's kind of the maximum benefit you can get out of a Smith maneuver related strategy without changing your cash flow. There's, for millennials, there's the life cycle investing. It's really the best single strategy for millennials to be able to get started. And it's a strategy that's worked actually 100% of the time in the last 150 years, based on a study by a couple of university professors. We have a cash dam strategy, which is just a pure tax strategy for self-employed and rental properties. So we've got all these strategies, and they actually are all on my blog. If you look under strategies, you'll see that we've got write-ups on all of these things. But in your plan, we'll be able to see what makes sense for you and recommend them if they make whatever would actually help you the most. So another really big thing is most people need to get a higher rate of return. So I think most of the investment industry is stuck on reasonable return with less risk, and they have a 60% equities, 40% bonds return. And the problem with that is, if you do that, basically nobody can retire comfortably with that kind of portfolio, because then your long-term return is maybe 5% a year. Inflation, you should probably use 3% in your planning. And then, so you're only making a little bit of difference. There's just not enough growth with that kind of portfolio. So because we know this, we know how to be able to get higher returns and how to educate you about risk tolerance. So I have an article about, on my blog, how to easily outperform investment advisors and robo-advisors. We've seen what the investment industry typically does and things that don't work, and we know how to do things right to be able to get higher rates of return. And we spend some time educating you on risk tolerance. Like, risk tolerance is actually a learned skill. You can learn it, and it's highly beneficial for you to learn it, because you can learn it and get a bit higher rate of return. It makes a huge difference in your so it's that bit of education is what you really need. Then when it comes to you've saved up for retirement. Now you want to, a lot of people don't know how to actually structure their retirement income once you actually get there, and we're experts on that as well. And so you want to do all three. You want to maximize with the maximum retirement income, but you want to know it's reliable for life and that you've optimized it for tax, and we know how to set all that up so it works. And for most of the investment and financial planning industry, what they do doesn't actually work. It's not actually going to get you through a retirement, or it's with the maximum income. So a lot of will use the 4% rule, for example, as a guideline on how much to take, but then they invest too conservatively, so you get a lower return. But also, based on my study, you need a very high, like 70 to 100% in equities for the 4% rule to work reliably. And most of them are, the general thinking in the financial industry is that when you get old, you should invest much more conservatively. And it's actually not true, because you retired for 30 or 40 years and you still need growth after you retire. So, and then the age rule is so quite a few of them use this age rule, saying you should have your age, that's how much you should have in bonds. But again, you end up with, maybe averaging 20% equities over a 30-year retirement. So it's way too conservative. And so your return is going to be just too low doing it that way. So when you're retiring, there's when you're setting up retirement income, there's all kinds of planning opportunities. And we know exactly how to think all that through. So you have to think of what your overall strategy is. Is it deferring tax, or is it trying to get income out at the low bracket? So there's a whole method of structuring it, and we know exactly how to do all that. So you want enough for your desired lifestyle, plus minimizing your lifetime tax. And so also when you're retired, some of the government benefits are clawed back, and that's effectively an additional tax. So we know how to include all that in the planning, and we know how to focus on getting the lowest taxed type of income, which is actually deferred capital gains. So it's not dividends or interest, it's getting deferred capital gains, where capital gains are taxed at a preferred rate, but if you pay them way down the road, that's the most efficient. And we know how to be able to structure your plan for that. So basically, a financial plan does all this. It helps you know how to build up and how to structure your income. So the benefits are actually huge. And a lot of it is just confidence, confidence that you know that you're going to have the life that you want.
And if someone is thinking of getting a financial plan but are not sure what to do, how can they find out?
All right, so the best way is just go on my blog under contact. You'll find there's a free 30-minute consultation, and you can talk to one of our planners and just have a general talk about what it is that you're looking for, and we'll tell you what we do, and we can just kind of decide together whether we're a fit to be able to work together. We're selective in who we work with. We only want to work with people that are really going to benefit from this whole process. So now, an important thing is that so we write a financial plan and charge a fee, and that's actually an important thing. Yeah, like if you get a free financial plan, that's probably what it's worth. Like you want something that's done professionally and that it's objective, and that's exactly why paying for a plan actually makes sense. And for us, it also tells you that you're serious about your finances. We only want to work with people that are really ready to move ahead. So, and part of this consultation is we have several different options. We can figure out which one is the right one for you. So most people really need, we call it a basic unified financial plan. It's a comprehensive financial plan written, and then we have a whole process for doing that. That's what most people need. We have a more complex one for self-employed with corporations, and if we're going to use the corporation in the planning. And also we have a very basic one, a plan discussion. So this is if for people that are just starting out, or their life is about to change a lot of ways, and they don't know what the numbers are going to be. What we do with the plan discussion is we don't write anything. This is only for people that are going to work with us full service afterwards. Okay. But basically what we do is we sit down, we have the similar process, figure out what your basic goals are, and then we don't write anything, but we just work with you to be able to achieve it. We're starting you off in the right direction. So we also offer a 50% off guarantee. So, in our process, we have one main financial planning meeting, which is like 4 or 5 hours long, less for a plan discussion, but it's 4 or 5 hours long. And by then you'll know basically how things are going and what it's kind of going to look like. And if at that point you don't think that the value is there, we'll refund 50% of your fee for you, and then that's the end of the service. So that's just our way of giving you confidence that the process is going to be worthwhile for you.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, in all your years that you've done this, you've never actually had someone not get value out of that particular component. So that's good to know. What is it like to work with your team as a full service client?
All right. So a full service, it's like one decision that you need to make just to work with us, and we're there. Then we are there to like walk you through, everything that you're trying to achieve. So we basically help you implement your plan, and then we work with you over the years. So it's implementing your plan. We review it every year. a full review, or whenever you feel you need it. We offer to do your personal tax returns as part of the process. We have a really exceptional portfolio managers that can help you get the top returns. And we're basically every year we're optimizing your financial plan and your finances to be able to achieve all of your life goals. We end up talking a few times a year, like your full review and RSP time and tax time, and when other deadlines are due, and when your mortgage is due, and whenever you have questions. And so we talk a bunch of times during the year. And basically we become your money guru. Any financial question you have, you can contact us anytime, and we know how to be able to figure all that out. So now we're selective on who we take on. Like, we only want to take on people that are going to work with us 100%. And we find that's the only way to be effective in financial planning. So we're looking after all your finances, including all your investments and your taxes. And we know the whole position. And your debts and mortgages and stuff like that. So we know the whole position, and that's the only way that we can really give you comprehensive advice. It's not a 50-50 thing. It's 100% from both sides, 100% open, and that's how we can give you the best advice. So if you have two advisors, or you have do some part of it yourself and part of it with an advisor, really all you end up with then is getting sales pitches. And you don't get the comprehensive advice that you need. So we set this process up because, based on experience, it's the only thing that really works. So we also have two investment options. So we do the financial planning, and we find the best investors for you. And we work with two of these elite portfolio managers with different processes. And so we get paid exactly the same amount on both of them. Okay, so it's we're completely unbiased in it. It's a matter of which one you prefer. Most of our clients prefer to have we have what's called the all-star fund manager portfolio manager. So he's out trying to find the world's best fund managers. He's creating a portfolio of these top investors that all have long-term track records beating the index after fees. The other one is an index plus portfolio manager who gets paid mainly based on how much he beats the index. So in both cases, our goal is we're trying to get returns high enough so that you can achieve the life that you want. And so we call it above index investing. We're trying to make sure that our returns are above what the broad index would be after all fees, including ours. So therefore, we're not reducing our fee isn't reducing your returns. We're trying to pay for ourselves entirely by referring these top portfolio managers.
And for anybody that wants to learn more, where can they go to find out more?
Okay, so the best way is just go to my blog or my YouTube channel. My blog is edrempel.com, so it's just my name, or it's unconventionalwisdom.ca. If you go to Unconventional Wisdom, make sure you go to .ca, not .com. Or go to my YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and search for my name. And if you want to find out more, on my blog, we offer this under the contact is this free 30-minute consultation. And basically it's, find out whether or not it makes sense for us to work together and which plan option makes the most sense for you. So, so you can find out whether a financial plan makes sense for you now, like what's the timing of it. And the other thing is just subscribe to my blog and YouTube channel. All that means is you will get my videos and articles sent directly to your email each week. I'm trying to do one every Thursday, and so that way you can constantly use it to learn more.
Wonderful, Ed. Well, thanks so much for coming on and telling us about your practice and what you do and how you work with clients. And yeah, definitely I encourage everyone to check out, at the very least, check out the resources that you have available. You clearly put a lot of work and effort into them, and they're very comprehensive as well. So at the very least, go and do that. And that's it. So thank you, Ed.
Thanks a lot, Kornel. Always fun talking to you.
All right, take care. Bye.